We're less than 2 hours into trading. It is Tuesday, July 13th. Hello, traders. Let's start with yesterday's pick, as we always do. MS, Morgan Stanley. That was the long of the day. You can see the video came out right about in here. Stock really didn't do much for the day. Had a little bit of a pop today, pulled back. Goldman Sachs announced earnings this morning. Excellent earnings. They're increasing their dividend. So banks should start to get a bid in here. The banks that do proprietary trading, that is. JP Morgan Chase, a little bit different story there. I think they've got some headwinds. They have lower interest rate environment. That makes it difficult for them to make money. Also, we haven't seen a lot of consumer spending. Retail sales have been down. So I think that big banks that don't do a lot of trading are going to have pretty tough sledding here, and they do dominate the earnings scene for about the next week or so. This morning, we had CPI come out, 0.9% increase, 0.7% expected, much hotter than expected. Might inflation, higher prices, weigh on corporate earnings? We'll see. That's one of the variables that we've got to keep an eye on. PPI comes out tomorrow, another potential speed bump. As far as the market today, not too shabby. We get this drop right on the open in my pre-open market comments, which you can get every day by clicking in the description area of this video. I had mentioned look for an early drop and an instant bounce. CPI has been discounted by the market previously, so I don't think that this is going to weigh the market down today. Well, we get that opening drop and then boom, boom, boom. All of the overnight losses are erased. Now we've got an upward sloping trend line here. We have a bullish 10p cross right in here. Until that halfway point of that long red candle was erased, which was right in here a few minutes ago, I did not want to get long. Waited for that to happen. This is a great opportunity to get long. We're making a new all-time high right now. Lots of stocks that I like. I'm going to go through my heavy buying list, and we'll start there. MA looks excellent. Could easily be my pick of the day. Why? Because it's not too far out of the gate. We've got a lot of stocks that are running hard, and I don't like chasing. Nice upward sloping trend line, hugging that 100-day moving average, horizontal breakout, excellent volume today, excellent relative strength today. Look at those long green candles stacked one on top of the other. Big volume today. I'm going to continue to go down the list. Let's take a look at some others. SNOW, strong today as well. Really nice horizontal breakout right there. Long green candle closing on its high. Doji yesterday, and now follow through. This stock is probably going to continue higher, so I like it. Not too crazy about BABA, not too crazy about Baidu. In my opinion, Chinese stocks are very weak. This is nothing more than a dead cat bounce. Microsoft, unbelievable strength today. Look at that breakout right from the open. I mentioned this probably 15 minutes into the open. Long green candles stacked one on top of the other. Massive volume when the market was going down. Overlay that SPY and you'll be able to see that. There's your drop on the SPY. Not Microsoft. See you later. Stock looks fantastic today. But I don't want to chase, and Microsoft is really pushing hard. Here's your pick of the day. I saw this yesterday. Really like the price action in TSM. Horizontal breakout through the 100-day moving average. Plenty of room to run. Put up the 5-minute chart. And then if we go into yesterday's price action, you can see this nice little volume pop right here led to these candles and this horizontal breakout. This is what signaled me that this stock was getting ready to move higher. Nice trend higher all day yesterday. Right now, I'd like to see a little bit better participation from it with this big rally in the SPY, so I'm going to be watching it. How might I track that? I click GTC, click on that top bar right there. Now I'll know if we get the breakout that I'm looking for to the upside. TSM really nice though. I like that. I may have to swap out my pick of the day just because I'm seeing that strength in MA and I'm not seeing it in TSM. Look at that's what I want to see. When the market does this, I want to see follow through buying on the underlying stock. So we'll continue to take a look at some of the other stocks in here. OSTK looks okay, but the daily chart very, very choppy. I don't like trading stocks that do this. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. They're all over the board. You can't tell from one day to the next what that stock is going to be doing. We want nice, tight trading patterns, just like I showed you in MA today with that incredible strength, lots of green candles stacked. You want to see a stock that's going up from the lower left corner to the upper right corner in almost a straight line. Here's a classic example also, and when I see charts like this, TGT I looked at earlier today, I didn't hesitate to draw an upward sloping trend line. I want to know when that trend line is breached. Look at how steady that price action is. Compare this to OSTK. There's no doubt that this is the type of stock I want to trade because I can predict where it's going. Nice, orderly price action. Why does this stock have such orderly price action and OSTK does not? It's because buyers are lined up. Every time a little dip gets going, boom, they buy it. Little dip gets started, boom, they buy it. So you never get these big pullbacks because the buyers are aggressive. And that's what sets up these powerful, powerful trend lines. You can also draw one right here. When it's breached, I want to know about it. I don't need to know about it instantly, so I've drawn a horizontal line here. If we poke through it, chances are on the back side, when you do start to see selling after a very, very strong trend like this, tends to be pretty accelerated to the downside because it's flushing out a lot of bullish speculators, and you also start getting a lot of profit taking. So after a big run, look for those moves. Typically, after something that's this strong, the first dip will ultimately be a buy, and you'll see a bullish flag formation and then gone. But in any event, whether there's follow through selling or it finds immediate support, I want to know when this price point is breached. So that's how we use alerts. Look at this rally. It's going to continue. Really nice bullish 10p cross. Pepsi, really nice horizontal breakout. And we're seeing follow through in the underlying stock here, compressing a bit. And this is typical. This brings up one of the features within Option Stalker that I can show you, reaction. This is what the stock has done on a 5-minute basis each of the last 4 quarters immediately when it has released earnings. So the first possible time that this stock had to trade after releasing earnings, these are 5-minute charts. We can also see earnings per share growth numbers, but the main thing that I like to look at is what did the stock do? Well, it gapped higher. Nice follow through for about 90 minutes or so, and then it starts to kind of wane. Same thing here. Once you get that initial move higher, you get a little bit of follow through. Here you can see just choppy trading pattern all over. Down, a little bit of follow through later. The moves that tend to be best in this are the early moves where you get a little bit of sustained directional movement. So that's how you use the reaction feature within Option Stalker. Look for patterns. Look for common price patterns on gaps up and gaps down, and it'll give you a feel for how you can trade that stock after earnings releases come out. Sometimes there is no pattern, and that's okay too. At least you have that resource to lean on. Apple, super strong today. Nice breakout. All the big cap tech stocks, Google, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, running hard today. It's going to be hard for the market to sell off when those stocks are moving higher. We've got tech earnings coming up in the course of the next week and a half, 2 weeks. That should keep buyers engaged. CPNG, nice little stock that I noticed earlier today. Horizontal breakout right here, 50-day moving average right there. You can see the stock pulls back, bounces off of it, downward sloping trend line, breach to the upside. Now we've got a horizontal breakout. This stock actually looks pretty good. I'd like to see a little bit heavier volume, but the relative strength today has been excellent. There you can see how it's continuing to move higher. Even when the market was chopping around, there's that little dip in the S&P right in there. What did this stock do? Powered higher. Really nice volume. So those are your keys to trading right now. You must have heavy, heavy volume. You want to have technical breakouts through either horizontal resistance, downward sloping trend lines, or major moving averages. And then you also want to be monitoring relative strength during the course of the day. So let's take a couple looks back here at MA. Beautiful. Love that strength. Put up the D1 chart, hover over the earnings. They're going to post earnings on 7/29, so there's still a little bit of time left. I do like this breakout right here today. MA is one I would certainly be trading. TSM, one more look there, see if it's able to catch a little bit of a bid, and it's been able to hold its price gain. So I'm looking for both stocks to move higher today. They are not too far out of the gate. They have room to run. Plenty of room to the upside to run. MA still has plenty of room to the upside. Those are the stocks right now that I'm favoring. The ones that are breaking out and making new highs constantly, I've got to be a little bit more careful with. I have to take profits on those during the course of the day, and I'm not as apt to hold those for an overnight swing trade. PPI coming out tomorrow. Watch that early reaction, see if it impacts the market. For right now, even if we get a hot PPI number, the CPI number was discounted, so I don't think that this is going to be the speed bump that rolls the market over. I did mention in my pre-open market comments today as well, just something that you want to be aware of. There is a volatility skew on the call side, meaning that calls are more expensive than puts. We don't see that very often. It tells me that asset managers are not hedged. They're not worried about the market. That's when you can have these surprise events and these big sell-offs. When asset managers get caught off guard, they have to very quickly adjust their risk. They're out there either shorting the futures or buying puts, and when they do that, it accentuates the market drop. Plus, you've got a ton of bullish speculators just loaded up right here. So when they get flushed out too, the type of correction that you see is very fast and very furious. And last September, we had a pretty classic example of the type of move that happens when you start to get overheated like this. Wham! Out of nowhere, gigantic red candle. This is when you've got your asset managers hedging positions, shorting futures, buying puts, and this is when your bullish speculators get washed out, and then there's your follow through. So be very careful in here. Excellent for day trading, very good for short-term swing trading, just overnights. And the way that I play it is if I've got a really nice profit in a position and the stock is closing on its high, I'll take most of the gains. I'll hold a little bit of the position overnight. And if I get a gap up like this, I'm taking profits on the open the next morning. That's all I've got for you today. Please leave comments. Please leave questions. If you've got a stock you'd like me to take a look at, please post it. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching this YouTube video. I'm Pete Stolzers, and I'm going to keep the trade ideas coming along with lots of education, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and please turn on your notifications so that you never miss another trade. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I've loaded 2 other videos that I think you're really going to enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.